Dialogue to me was my baby. Okay. In the middle of the week, when I got a chance to put that show together, I really enjoyed that time.
I had no idea that the show came from such an esteemed history.
It's never too late to dust off a dream, that you can make it, but you gotta put in a lot of time and a maximum effort.
It took me a long time to understand that people just can't pull themselves up by their bootstraps, by themselves.
You do need help.
They need help.
I'm saying that it was always about human beings breaking down their own insecurities and the walls that separated us.
Mm-hmm. Celebrating 30 years, this is a special edition of Dialogue.
2024 has been a year to celebrate here at WALB. We're celebrating 70 years of being on the air, and Dialogue is celebrating 30 years. Yes, 30 years. And over the last 30 years, Dialogue has worked to bring your voices and issues of concern to the table on Sunday mornings. All of our hosts have worked to discuss not only issues, but possible solutions. We begin our 30th celebration with a look back at our 20th. Dean C.W. Grant, Dr. Michael Rogers, and Dr. Walter Judge were at the table when Dialogue began. And we continue our celebration, 20 years for Dialogue. I've got some of the former co-hosts with me this segment, as well as some of the people instrumental in starting Dialogue. I am now talking with Dean C.W. Grant, who is a co-host, as well as Michael Rogers with the Coalition for Diversity, and Dr. Walter Judge, who also served as a co-host, members of the Criterion Club. You were active with the Chamber. And first of all, thank you for helping me celebrate.
Thank you for having us.
And quickly, I'm going to tell or share with the audience some of the topics that you talked about when this started. Mm-hmm. We were talking with the police, Albany's newest police leader, Chief Joseph Lumpkin. You also talked about Southwest Georgia effort towards better race relations called Valdosta's Project Change, the national, at that time, Indian Festival, Daugherty County's first African-American school superintendent, Dr. John Colbreth, Alzheimer's information, Miss Albany Kimberly Blackshear, and one of several shows on the Coalition for Diversity's One Albany program. And in talking about, earlier with Nicole and Daryl about topics that were relevant then, when this show started 20 years ago, some of them still relevant now.
Yes. Correct, absolutely.
One of which being education.
Sure.
And showcase.
Mm-hmm. And then, of course, the diversity role in terms of businesses and race relations and attracting businesses to our community. Somebody jump in here with me and talk about
Go ahead, Mike. Go ahead, Mike.
Well, I can remember it being with the Chamber when I first came to Albany State, early 90s. Paul DeLoach was there, and we talked about the importance of businesses not coming to Albany unless we could get our racial business taken care of. Mm-hmm. And so I remember at that time, the Doublegate Country Club was not integrated. If you were black, you couldn't play golf at Doublegate Country Club. So we made it one of our first efforts is to talk to Doublegate about recruiting and allowing a black to play golf at Doublegate.
Because what do business professionals do?
Exactly.
And it doesn't matter their color, that's what they do.
And you know that person was our mayor just recently. Mm-hmm. Willie Adams was the person we asked to go to Doublegate and apply for membership. Mm-hmm. And then he became our mayor.
All right, and your organization, the Criterion Club, very instrumental in this.
Yes. We had looked at how members of the various commissions were conducting business. And we did not like what we saw because it was not representative of our community, the bickering that was going on. So with the Chamber of Commerce, we came up with some guidelines that we would ask those commissions to look at and accept. And they did. And it changed the face of the commissions.
Okay.
And we were very pleased with that.
And with Dialogue, they had I guess a format or forum to talk about those issues. Now, one of the things I understand you were very active with in terms of education, going into the schools.
Oh yes, I used to go into Sylvester Road every week and sit and talk to the kids, challenge them, I read to them. I gave them awards for tying up the shoes and putting the shirt in and coming in school with your uniform on.
No, I believe we've already showed it, but I want to see it again. We have some, look at our sheriff. At that time, he was Lieutenant Kevin Sproul. And then I believe you are co-hosting this particular episode. We're going to let it play a little bit more, but now, of course, he is our sheriff. That's you, along with Nicole.
Absolutely.
Flashback.
Isn't that?
Flashback. And we were talking yesterday, earlier rather, about how, you know, technology has changed everything. We're now on 2 networks, NBC and ABC. But I believe that this is something, as I said, very special to be a part of. And I'm certainly glad that you all, you know, stood up and did what you did.
Actually, as Dr. Grant was saying, the Criterion Club was a partner with Sylvester Road.
Okay.
And the last person to give a full-time schedule to Sylvester Road was Dr. Ernest Benson.
Okay.
He devoted so much time.
And he was a part of the Criterion
And he was,
Club.
yes, he was part of the Criterion Club. And even during his illness, he continued to go and support Sylvester Road.
All right. Well, it's definitely, you have made, this is something that you all can look at along with, you know, the leadership here at WALB and know that you have really had an impact on this community and you continue to have an impact.
One of the things that I think the Criterion Club could be very proud of was that there was a meeting held with the various bankers
to help with the tellers.
Yes, to ask for some black faces to be seen.
Being a South Georgia boy, I know that 2 things bring people together: music and food.
And why are you still singing these songs today? Those are the questions that I get.
And your response?
My response is that I don't want them to die, and they are important today as they were back then.
You name it, all over the country, they are using the model we created back in 1969.
If that's your dream, you continue to follow your dream.
Are you ready to take your professional career to the next level? Look no further than Albany State University's exceptional graduate programs. With degree options such as education and criminal justice, you'll find the perfect program to help you achieve your goals. With both online and traditional class options, ASU offers the flexibility and affordability you need to succeed. Our legacy of 121 years of excellence speaks for itself. Don't wait any longer to advance your career. Visit masters.asurams.edu today.
Welcome to Albany Technical College. Our school offers a wide range of programs in fields such as computers and engineering, manufacturing, and healthcare. Our experienced faculty and small class sizes ensure a personalized education and the opportunity for hands-on learning. Plus, with affordable tuition and flexible scheduling, we make it easy for you to achieve your career goals. Ready to take the next step? Visit our website at albanytech.edu and click Apply Now to get started on your path to success.
September is Prostate Cancer Awareness Month. Dr. Adam Jones is a radiation oncologist at the Phoebe Cancer Center. What's your main message to men about prostate cancer?
Prostate cancer remains a massive problem in South Georgia. We have a high-risk population, and it is a bit of the silent killer, meaning you don't know you have it unless you get screened. Prostate cancer is the most common type of cancer in men and the second biggest killer.
We've got more information for you at PhoebeWellnessWatch.com.
Mark your calendars for October 8th. The Dr. Anthony O. Parker Annual Golf Tournament is happening at River Point Golf Club, and you don't want to miss it. This 3-person scramble is your chance to compete for prizes while supporting students in need through the Albany Tech Foundation. Registration starts at 11:30 a.m. with a shotgun start at 12:30 p.m. All proceeds go towards scholarships for students facing financial hardship. Save the date, October 8th, and join us for a day of golf fun and giving back. Contact Michelle Williams at the number below for more information.
The topics discussed on Dialogue in the past are topics and issues we are still discussing today. And as Dialogue's first host, Nicole Bailey-Coven shares, there was a lot to dialogue about then, and there's a lot to dialogue about now. And Nicole Bailey-Coven, so good to see you. We are having a reunion here on Dialogue and celebrating 30 years. You were the very first host How many years did you host Dialogue?
4 years.
Okay.
4 years. Yes.
And do you happen to remember your first guest?
Yeah, that was a long time ago.
Yes.
But I do. Our first show was with Charles Sherrod, and we took a look back at civil rights history, and of course, you know, his involvement with the nonviolence organization and the youth involvement. And so we talked about history, we talked about how that relates to today, and how the movement still lives in a different way. And it was really, you know, to be talking to history, because he was, you know,
he was in it.
He was in the middle of it.
In it.
Yes.
Well, and I guess you made me smile. You don't know this, but we're of course showing you a closer version. When you first started, you also issued a Dialogue newsletter.
Yes.
And so what was some of the information included in that? And then we also want to talk about, you know, what prompted WALB to even start this show. But what was some of the information you included in the newsletter?
Well, in the newsletter, we wanted to let people know the why we were doing this, and what we wanted to accomplish. We didn't want to just talk about issues and problems, but we wanted to talk about solutions. And we wanted to bring people together and unite people. And we wanted to focus on the entire community in doing that. So it was a community effort, and we reached into the community to have co-hosts that were a part of the community, not just with the station.
And there were organizations involved, and so give us our history lesson. Why did Dialogue even start?
Well, Dialogue started as a way to address a lot of the issue and communication issues within the community. So we reached back to the foundation. We went to the Criterion Club, where two of our rotating co-hosts were from, Dr. C.W. Grant and Dr. Walter Judge. And then we also went to the Albany Coalition for Diversity. Now, they were 2 years old at that time. It was a nonprofit organization that really focused on race relations and on bettering community communication and community growth.
Is that Michael Rogers?
That is correct.
Yes,
that is correct. And the host that rotated from the Coalition from Diversity was actually Kenneth Fletcher.
Okay, all right. Now, you were able to leave Macon, Georgia, because that's where, of course, she is now. And you were with WMAZ.
Yes, I am.
And what is your role there?
Well, I'm content coordinator, and that means I wear several different hats. But I'm still in the talk show business. I produce, not host, just produce Central Georgia Focus, and then I work with our diversity and inclusion program with those initiatives. Occasionally, I will sometimes produce a newscast, but a lot of times I'm just talking to people on the phones, and I'm working with the community and making sure that the community information gets to the news station so we can share it with everyone.
You are a multitasker. You know, you're doing it all. Now, the reason I say, you know, we were able to get you here to tape this special. You were here 10 years ago as well. You and Daryl Sabbs,
Yes.
you know, along with those people you named, C.W. Grant, Michael Rogers, Dr. Judge. They were here and they were reflecting on then the 20 years of Dialogue. So I understand that people from the community and those organizations came to WALB, and it was it Jim? Who was the general manager at that time?
The general manager at that time was Jerry Pigg.
Jerry Pigg, okay. And then followed by Jim Wilcox.
Correct.
And so they presented this idea?
Yeah, so Jerry Pigg, you know, talked to me about bringing the community in, and I actually was a member of the Albany Coalition for Diversity. I was working with them and kind of helping to promote the various things that they were doing in the community. I learned about the Criterion Club and the history that was there, which makes it so valuable when we look back at the foundation and the fact that this program is still here today. The purpose and the goal that was back then in 1994 is the same purpose and goal, and people still want to hear that information. It's still very valuable. And so we work to make sure that we reach the community at that time.
And I will go ahead and say that Dialogue was recently honored by the Georgia Association of Broadcasters for its 30 years. And I
I say that you and Daryl and all of the previous hosts have actually given me a gift, the gift of continuing this legacy and making sure that Southwest Georgia, and now of course with all the modern technology really across the world,
right.
Information gets out about what's going on here. We touch on issues, health and education, and just what people want other members of the community to know about what they're doing. So you're going to stick around. I'm going to talk with Daryl Sabbs, who was my predecessor. Stay with us, everybody, as we continue our conversation.
Because I've been so blessed to be in the industry for such a long time, and coming from being the son of a legend.
I was the first African-American mayor of Albany.
You can connect with total strangers through music.
But I've learned how to go from the bottom to the top. I've learned what it is to come from the back to the front.
It's what you do with what you have that makes you what you are.
Welcome to Albany Technical College. Our school offers a wide range of programs in fields such as computers and engineering, manufacturing, and healthcare. Our experienced faculty and small class sizes ensure a personalized education and the opportunity for hands-on learning. Plus, with affordable tuition and flexible scheduling, we make it easy for you to achieve your career goals. Ready to take the next step? Visit our website at albanytech.edu and click Apply Now to get started on your path to success.
Are you ready to take your professional career to the next level? Look no further than Albany State University's exceptional graduate programs. With degree options such as education and criminal justice, you'll find the perfect program to help you achieve your goals. With both online and traditional class options, ASU offers the flexibility and affordability you need to succeed. Our legacy of 121 years of excellence speaks for itself. Don't wait any longer to advance your career. Visit masters.asurams.edu today.
September is Prostate Cancer Awareness Month. Dr. Adam Jones is a radiation oncologist at the Phoebe Cancer Center. What's your main message to men about prostate cancer?
Prostate cancer remains a massive problem in South Georgia. We have a high-risk population, and it is a bit of the silent killer, meaning you don't know you have it unless you get screened. Prostate cancer is the most common type of cancer in men and the second biggest killer.
We've got more information for you at PhoebeWellnessWatch.com.
Mark your calendars for October 8th. The Dr. Anthony O. Parker Annual Golf Tournament is happening at River Point Golf Club, and you don't want to miss it. This three-person scramble is your chance to compete for prizes while supporting students in need through the Albany Tech Foundation. Registration starts at 11:30 a.m. with a shotgun start at 12:30 p.m. All proceeds go towards scholarships for students facing financial hardship. Save the date, October 8th, and join us for a day of golf fun and giving back. Contact Michelle Williams at the number below for more information.
Throughout our 30 years, we've dialogued about so much, to include spotlighting our rich Black culture and history. We continue now with former host Nicole Bailey Coven and Daryl Sabbs. And as we celebrate 30 years of dialogue, I once again would like to say their names, starting with Nicole Bailey, number one host, Nicole Bailey Coven, Michael Rogers, Alton Hart McClendon, Dr. Walter Judge, Dean C.W. Grant, Yvette Jones. Now, I learned that today. She was an anchor here on WALB, so tell me about that.
Well, I went on vacation.
So, and you need them. You need them.
She sat in.
And and at the time, you all may remember the movie Waiting to Exhale. I do believe that that was the topic that they discussed, because it was a really, it was a topic for the community was interested in that movie.
Female community.
Female community,
Yes,
exactly.
yes.
And so she was the host.
Okay. Well, we have to say her name as well. And of course, Daryl Sabbs.
Now, I was doing something called Straight Talk.
Yes.
With Brady Keys. Remember Brady Keys?
Yes, I do.
With Kentucky
The former
Fried Chicken.
NFL.
And he had WOL radio that he was doing. I was doing Straight Talk on Saturday morning. It was a live format. And Brady Keys called Jim Wilcock and said, and threw a tape at him, so you need to hear this guy. And he called me and brought me in, and so it started like that. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Identifying that talent, right? So we talked about some of the, your first interviews, but in terms of topics and like, for instance, you said anytime there was new leadership in law enforcement,
yes,
you would have them on.
Right.
So I've got a cheat sheet. You've got one. You remember? Do you remember?
Well, I do remember Chief Joseph Lumpkin. He came to Albany, I think, from Clark County. I'm not sure the exact city. Athens, Clark
Athens,
County
yes.
area. And so it was his opportunity to introduce himself, and we allowed that discussion of what would leadership in law enforcement be under Chief Lumpkin, and we had that discussion about the issues that were important, that were happening in town, and what he wanted to see and how he wanted to govern.
Well, I've got your, again, I think there was a volume 1 and a volume 2 of the Dialogue newsletter, and this is what I'm going to quote it. The program has also introduced key people to the Albany community. Some of the dialogue shows include Albany's newest police leader, Chief Joseph Lumpkin, a successful Southwest Georgia effort towards better race relations, and this was Valdosta's Project Change. Also, the National Indian, at that time, the National Indian Festival. Dougherty County's first African-American school superintendent, Dr. John Colbreth. You also talked with Ivory Dorsey, diversity and economics author and consultant. Topics: battling HIV and AIDS in rural Southwest Georgia, Alzheimer's, Alzheimer's. You talked to Miss Albany.
Why you look at me when you say Alzheimer's? Why you look at me?
Oh, no, because you're in the medical field. Medical. I've already said that she's got the youngest brain. Okay, very good. But Alzheimer's information. But I was relating the medical piece to you. And then, of course, several, and the first of several shows on the Coalition for Diversity's One Albany. But you talked about, what is it, organ transplantation or?
We talked about, a lot of people had some skepticism, some concerns about organ donation. And so that show was really about the value of organ donation, especially for African Americans, because we talk about different blood types and different needs.
And
so,
trust.
And trust.
You don't want to pull the plug before it's time.
Right, and that was an issue because a lot of people were not so sure about it, but you are asked that question when you get your driver's license. Do you want to be an organ donor? Because that makes a difference in a place of emergency as to what they do for you and to you in the event of an accident.
And may I say, I have also hosted shows about organ donation and the same concerns
and I have
exist.
Too. LifeLink.
LifeLink, that is correct.
That charge with us. So I was just thinking about some of my best shows. One of the guests that I had that we brought by here was Robert Hooks. I had a men's health conference and Les Brown and Robert Hooks came in and you interviewed Robert Hooks. For Bobby is a Hollywood actor who is now retired, and he came to speak to our men for Men's Health Day. The other one that I really remember was, I think one of the best shows was when the Civil Rights Museum opened up. We did a coverage of the purpose and the cause of the Albany Civil Rights Museum. And I remember I had wonderful cameramen. I think Stan was here with us. And the way that we filmed that from the balcony and talking to young people, just to give people a sense of the real meaning and value of the Civil Rights Museum. That was one of my most memorable.
Well, I actually, in preparation, took time to sit down, and I'm going to quickly just say I had celebrities. Let's see. Gospel singer CeCe Winans, singer Patti LaBelle, comedian Steve Harvey, also sports, Alice Coachman, Warwick Dunn, Jackie, Jordan Kersey, of course the civil rights, Black History, Peace, the Charades, Ambassador Andrew Young, and then C.B. King's children. We also had politicians and community leaders, education, the arts and authors, crime and its impact, health, Phoebe's Men and Women's Health Conference, breast cancer awareness. You held an event with Dominique Wilkins as well. So he came in as well. Agriculture, legal, military, community. So much for the 30 years. You have invited us into your homes to share these topics, to share good topics, some not so good. And again, I cannot say thank you enough to both of you and all of those who came before me. Thank you, WALB and Southwest Georgia, for allowing me to carry the torch. I haven't forgotten that all change starts with dialogue. And as host of Dialogue, I have met so many wonderful people over the years, some of whom are no longer with us. We end our celebration with a special tribute featuring Albany's Russell Malone, who we lost in August of this year.